Now, this teaching has to do with the blood of the Lamb that we've been taught. Now, we've been taught this communion thing where we drink the blood and we eat of the flesh, and that is a wicked thing. It's pagan. It's pagan in its origins. We don't realize that was a part of Paul and the early church's implementation of pagan practices into the church and the kingdom that supposedly was the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of Yahweh, the kingdom that Eliashua supposedly was bringing forth. And somehow it ended up becoming, the Last Supper became this, what shall we call it, a ritual to prove to you and others that Yahshua is the blood of the Lamb, and we have to drink it. Whereas if we read it line upon line, and learn it precept upon precept, precept upon precept, and learn every word that Father Yahweh spoke out of his mouth, we will know that Father made it very clear that all blood belongs to him, and that we are not to ever consume it or drink it. So if we learn it the right way, like he told us to, we would already know something is wrong with this picture. Whenever a lamb was sacrificed, though, they did not, the priest did not give the people a shallot, and fill it with blood that they passed around. That's not what happened. What they did, though, is they did sprinkle a little blood on the people, as a showing that because Father said the blood belongs to him, it was a way of showing that the people belonged to Father, the living Yahweh. And that's it. The rest of it was poured onto the ground so that the ground could call out to Father, and the blood from the ground could call out to Father and say, okay, they did what they were supposed to do according to what you spoke, and the blood has been poured on the ground. So we've been taught this blood of the Lamb, and we have to drink it, and we drink the wine to represent the blood. This is pagan. It's wicked. It's evil. It is not something that Father taught. It's not anything that was taught anywhere, and Yahshua did not speak that. It was put into his mouth that he spoke that. He did not speak that. If he did not tell you to drink it. If he did tell you to drink it, then he cannot possibly be the Messiah, because the Moshiach would not tell you to go against something that Father spoke out of his mouth. That was, even though a part of the law, it was also separate from the law that he spoke through the mouths of the prophets. So this is why you have to learn it line upon line, precept upon precept, precept upon precept. Because you start learning these things. It's like the building blocks. It's the blocks of the spiritual temple, okay, that is supposed to be built in your hearts. So, and it is Father's actual words that matter more than anything. What he spoke out of his mouth trumps everything, even what Yahshua spoke. This is why he was made into God, so that what he spoke would make us believe that everything he spoke was God. Even though he honored Yahweh, there's a lot of things that was put in his mouth that did not come out of his mouth and was not a part of something that he would have taught. So I praise you, O living Yahweh, for this teaching, and I pray everyone receives it. But just know that we are not to drink blood, we are not to consume blood, we are not to take wine and call it blood and drink it. You can Now, if you choose to drink the wine and say, I drink this and toast to Yahshua, that would be a different story. That would be a different thing. Or I toast to the living Yahweh in Yahshua's name. That would be a different story. That would be totally acceptable. You know. But, you know, but drinking wine and calling it blood is a part of the deception, a part of the making you believe something that's not true, because of course wine is not blood, right? It's a part of the beginning and the opening of deception, and if you do these things as, you know, you were instructed to do, you will start believing that it is true. And this is one of the reasons why it's so hard to break people out of this kingdom and break them out of these teachings, is because they believe something that's completely not true. And I'm going to give you an example. You know, we all know with the church that a transgender person, people are, no, you were born male, you are male, you will always be male, and they're very firm about this. We know Christians are very firm about this. But yet, wine is wine, but you continue to call it blood. See, you're no different. That kind of makes you a hypocrite, because you are saying something that's not something is something that it is not. You're not realizing that because you believe a lie, and believe that wine can be blood or can represent blood, that you are also making it possible for these other things to go on in the world. So, you know, wine is wine, blood is blood. We don't drink blood, we don't consume blood. We consume wine. Wine is wine, is wine, is wine. And we can toast to the living Yahweh. We can toast to Yahshua. We can toast to whatever. But we are not to call the wine blood. Praise you, O living Yahweh. I pray that this message is perfect before you.